Wow. Okay, guys. I've got quite a few requests for this Destiny video. What a surprise, right? So we're going to engage in some sweet Destiny money. I actually had somebody go as far as like reach out to me on Instagram to send this to me. So the people really want me to take a look at this video, which is cool. Always happy to take a react to Destiny. So that's cool. Anyway, it's called Heated Debate with versus is a 3-on-1. It's for Nick Fuentes, Sneeko, and John Zerka on Fresh and Fit. So just it's gonna be something else. So let's get this going.
Because they know that they're gonna go after these platforms.
Hold on, Kick is all private equity. There's no advertisers. It's all crypto gambling. Where does the ATL influence Kick?
Let's move back to
No. People probably don't want you in Rumble because people don't want Rumble to be seen as just a platform where all the Nazis go. Elon doesn't want you on Twitter, although he gave you an unban because as soon as you got unbanned, within 24 hours, you were already tweeting crazy shit, and then you were back in Spaces talking crazy shit. People don't want you on Kick, a company owned completely by private equity with no external advertiser whatsoever. What is tying all of these together? The ATL, which is only spending $500 million, 5 times the XQC deal. You think that's enough for them to keep every single one of these social media platforms under their thumb? What was Elon's individual investment in Twitter?
Oh, so it sounds like Nick Fuentes is playing the race card game, except he's playing the racist card. You know how everybody's like victim now. Oh, I identify with this, that, or the other thing. Everything that happens to me is because of that. Nick Fuentes is doing that as well. His argument, I'm just guessing here, but I've seen him do it all the time, where he's like, they're trying to censor me with free speech. It's a conspiracy. Blah blah blah. It's because I'm based or whatever. He's doing the same thing that like people do all the time, where they're like, "Oh my god, everybody doesn't like me because I don't know, some fucking dumb bullshit." Bro, the guy's insane. Like he's just, and he's a loser. It's really what it boils down to. I mean, he's not to really be taken seriously.
So like $33 billion, and you're saying $500 million is enough to keep Facebook market cap of what, $1 trillion? Twitter, private equity held. Kick, private equity held. Rumble, publicly traded. Somehow the ADL is keeping you off of all these platforms. Don't you think it might just be the case that people don't want you because you're radical?
Yeah,
true. The ADL came out there at the front like they always are. I think
it's the Anti-Defamation League. I think that's, yeah, primarily like a Jewish defense league, but more than just that. So, you know, Nick Fuentes isn't a big fan of Jewish people. So
anyone says something remotely critical of Jews in Israel, and they wrote a letter to Adidas and said, you better disavow. And the threat was this: if you don't, we're going to run a media campaign and say that Adidas supports Nazis. Don't buy their shoes. They've done this before. They did the same thing to Facebook in 2020.
Why does he keep getting platformed? You know, it's interesting because I remember him and Destiny were a little friendly. I feel like, though, if you look at this in the long form, I mean, you got to hand it to him. I'm pretty sure Destiny's, in my opinion, and maybe this is just me over selling it. Sorry, I had a window open. But it kind of seems like to me that Destiny has positioned himself close to Nick Fuentes. Like, let's say, I think it's about a year ago, let's say. And again, this might just be me personally, but I think that Nick Fuentes has taken a pretty substantial hit publicly and how seriously people take him. That's just my opinion. I think that, you know, criticize Destiny if you want. I mean, obviously, I think the chicken and waffles play probably wasn't very good. But it seems like he's effectively turned Nick Fuentes into a lolcow, or at least he's been a contributing factor. You know, he kind of just shows up every time Nick Fuentes is like somewhere. Like I remember the conversation with like Sneeko and Abba and Jitty, and he popped in and he just started like dumpstering Nick Fuentes and making him just look like a silly goose. So yeah, I guess we're kind of watching to laugh at this point. It's kind of like, it's like a little silly goose.
Did you see the letter by chance? Did you actually see what they sent?
Yeah.
Kanye?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did you see the one by JP Morgan?
It was public. The letter was public.
Because the JP Morgan letter was before.
Hey, let me finish.
He's explaining his stance.
Go ahead.
And then the JP Morgan.
So the point is this: it's not that this censorship stuff just happens. Like, for example, people ask me all the time. There was just a girl over here on Friday. I said, "Oh, I'm banned from Twitter." She said, "Oh, but you know they're reinstating people." You know, like I don't know that. I know. And I told her, I said,
he's instantly angry at her. I know that already, you idiot. You know.
Yeah, I got reinstated for a day. Then I got immediately rebanned. I was one of 5 people on a list by the ADL that they said cannot come back to Twitter. And out of that 5, I'm 1 out of 2. That is, or 1 out of 3 actually, but 1 out of 2 that was not allowed to come back. that talks about Jews.
If I'm hearing this correctly, what he's saying is that he's one of 5 people on the ADL's no Twitter list, and yet they reinstated 3 of the other ones and not him. So wouldn't that mean that it's nothing to do with him, with specifically the ADL? Unless I'm misinterpreting something, but that sounds like what he said. Did I misinterpret that?
One of 5 people on a list by the ADL that they said cannot come back to Twitter.
Okay.
And out of that 5, I'm 1 out of 2 that is, or 1 out of 3 actually, but 1 out of 2 that was not allowed to come back that talks about Jews.
Oh, no, I think he's specifically saying that the other 3 were just regular bigoted and he's Jewish bigoted, I guess. Well, he's extra bigoted because he talks about like everybody that's not a white person negatively. So, okay, I think I misheard that.
Andrew Tate got to come back. Doesn't talk about
you
Jews.
did get to come
Donald
back.
Trump, and then got immediately rebanned. And
Why'd you
all
get
of my
rebanned?
appeals got shut down.
Why'd you get rebanned?
They didn't tell me.
That's true too. He got unbanned. Unless the conspiracy takes the next level where it's like they only unbanned me to make it seem like they were allowing me a chance, and then they instantly rebanned me for no reason.
They never told me.
When did you tweet before you got banned?
He was
I
on a
tweeted
space
a
and he
video
said,
saying DEFCON 2.
and he was in a space
Yeah.
and he
Oh, he was referring to the Kanye tweet that was like DEF CON to Jewish people, like so he was being anti-Semitic. Like that's calling violence to a group of people. Like what a hot take. Platforms don't want that. Oh, who would have thought that? Holy moly! I didn't. I never would have thought that.
he insinuated he was
wipe that
baby
fucking
Hitler.
smirk
So
off
yeah,
your
you
face 'cause I
got
didn't tweet
banned because you
anything
did the
negative.
same. You banned initially. You got rebanned
Nope.
again.
I got banned for bullshit the first time. They didn't even tell me what I tweeted because I don't break the rules on Twitter.
Okay. I got banned, but I don't break the rules. I just how? What?
ADL
Wait,
said,
why would Twitter
hang
make
on,
it
hang
Elon
on, I'm
owns
still
it?
not finished.
Yeah.
He's saying that I love how Nick Fuentes just keeps talking. He just kind of steamrolls the conversation, and then when you interrupt him, he's like, "Hold on, let me finish. I didn't finish it. You're interrupting." It's like you talk so much. I know I talk a lot, but this is my platform. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think Nick Fuentes is full victim mode, where he just doesn't realize what he's doing is just wrong. Like, obviously, people aren't going to want some asshole going around talking about how, like, different groups of people are less than other groups.
Interruptions get tolerated.
All the talking points.
Unbelievable.
Answer his questions about why you got banned in this thing. if you
So
can.
the point is,
Yeah.
to say that this is just happening because, well, it's unpopular with the American people. First of all, Jews aren't super popular with the American people. I think most people.
I mean, what? Jews are, I mean, okay, whatever. I feel like, okay, whatever.
People have a little bit of anti-Semitism or a little bit sus of Jewish people. That's
No.
first of all. That's what we're always reminded.
Not really. I don't think that that's I don't really think that that's true. Maybe in Nick Fuentes' sphere, but like not in the general society of people. I don't think most people are pretty sus of Jew. I mean, I'm sure there's some people, but I don't think that's the general American sentiment. If I had to say anything, I'd say that like the general sentiment is like, oh, Jews are white, they're cool. Like that, honestly, like in a slightly, just a little bit racist America, just a little bit. You know what I mean? And in America that plays League of Legends, a little bit, once in a while, they're like, they're all right. They're white. They're a white minority, so they're okay. You know what I mean? That's what I think it is. I don't really see that too much of the anti-Jewish sentiment. To be honest with you, but
You want to argue at the same time that there's
More
record
rambling.
high anti-Semitism. Also, it's a popular mandate, which is why any talk about
well, there was a record high one somewhat recently with the whole Kanye thing, and I think that settled down after everybody realized how fucking insane he was. The movement kind of died with his insanity, you know. So I think that's what happened.
about Jews get censored. So it's not some spontaneous coming together based on popular support. It's groups like the ADL, which has a $500 million war chest that goes out there and uses the bully pulpit in the media to smear anybody as an anti-Semite, blow them up in the stock market, use their connections. That's what's been going on forever. So, and you're on your phone. I know you're Googling.
I'm writing down notes. I didn't get a notebook for you, so I'm going to write it down in the little chat box.
Yeah, see the
I
live
would like
chat
to be
flying
clear.
around.
I want to reiterate
That's
again.
amazing.
He will never answer a question I give him. He hasn't. I don't think he's answered a
He
single
will hear in
fucking
a
question.
That's just
Nick,
ridiculous.
you just explain to him why.
You know what I don't understand is that Nick Fuentes will kind of sit here and he'll insist that like people like Black and Hispanic people are biologically inferior because they tend to not do well on like societally. They make less money and they have like lower IQs. Now, of course, a Giga Chad intelligent people would understand that that's a systemic problem, that Black and Hispanic people are the same as everybody else, but they don't have the same access to opportunity. But Nick thinks it's like biological. He thinks that biologically people of color are worse than white people. You know. So my thing is that if he's talking about how bad black people are because they don't do well on stuff, then like how come you don't keep that same energy for Jewish people who are apparently doing better than the average? Wouldn't you just say it's biological? Wouldn't that be the argument? Yeah, they're not. Like why? It's like when he feels like a group does worse, we're just better than them, and if a group does better, we're still somehow better than that. I don't get it. Like where does the line? Like his logic should be like, oh man, they're amazing. They do so well. Like they do so well in the books. The record books do so well. You know, I don't get it. It doesn't really track for me. That's kind of the problem there. To me, it seems a little hypocritical.
Why you got banned off Twitter, by the way?
I know why you got banned. I don't know why you're lying about it.
Well, you don't know because
you were in Twitter Spaces.
You were in Twitter Spaces. Hang on.
Yeah.
Did you see the email I got from Twitter, which is why I was banned?
Yeah, I'm friends with Elon. He showed me.
Okay, so now you're just being cute. You didn't see it.
Whoa. You don't believe I'm friends with Elon? I was on Lex Friedman's show.
Now we're just being funny.
Oh, wait. So what did the email say, Nick? What did the email say, Nick?
It said banned for violations of the terms of service.
That's all it said? Are you sure?
All it said. Yeah.
Oh, well, do you think that
100%.
going into Twitter Spaces and saying shit like Hitler is base, I love Hitler, do you think that might be a violation of the TOS?
No, because what I said wasn't a violation of the terms of service.
Oh, okay. So just to be clear, it wasn't because you tweeted DEFCON 2. You didn't say that you hid that because you didn't know that I knew that you were in that Twitter Space, even though we listened to
you said it's because of what you tweeted.
So the Twitter Space saying it, he loves Hitler and Hitler is base and DEFCON to Jews and that's not a actually that's not a dude. He's literally a fucking sovereign citizen. You know those obnoxious people who get pulled over and they're like, I actually don't need a driver's license to drive. I'm not driving. I'm traveling. It's like, okay, well that's a violation in basketball, asshole. So maybe you're a fucking dickhead. That's all I'm saying. That's the same energy that I'm getting here. Like, that's the exact... technically, it wasn't illegal. It's not wrong. It wasn't technically against the terms of service. Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? What are you fucking saying? Jesus Christ.
Number one, isn't it my turn to ramble? Don't I get to ramble a million things? Don't I get to ramble?
All right.
You said that big
people at home can see this guy's fucking melting.
Big tech is censoring Jake.
I love how, like, just Destiny's not allowed to speak because they're afraid of what he's going to say.
Q stuff. Okay. Elon Musk, Twitter is private now. Where's the pressure from the Jews?
They killed all his advertisers. They sponsored an advertiser boycott in December, and they didn't get all of them back, obviously.
I love this. Is the fucking insane conspiracy. Okay, so advertisers did leave in December. Nick Fuentes, of course, everything's the Jews' fault, right? That's fucking Nick Fuentes' perspective. Or is it possible that maybe it was because Elon Musk made the radically stupid decision to make it so everybody gets access to being verified, and then brands didn't feel as well represented, and they got really pissed and they left the platform. Oh, shit, which one is it? Even now people are complaining about how they'll go on a post and they got to scroll through a bunch of dumb fucking verified bot accounts to get to the top, to get to any real comments. Elon Musk is a fucking idiot. That's why people pulled out. There's nothing to do with Jewish people. It's because Elon's an idiot and he gave everybody Twitter Blue for some, like, because he thought it would make them more money, but it just pissed off advertisers and made them lose trust for the brand. That's all it did. And then I died. So
that's what you don't even know what you're talking about. They did the same thing to Facebook.
No. Okay. It was a major L for me. I didn't even think about that. Why are we in Rumble right now talking about this then?
Well, I've yet to be banned from Rumble.
See how they're all powerful that they can shut down Elon Musk, who is a massive billionaire. What, the second or third wealthiest man in the world?
We'll see what happens.
On Twitter, they shut you down. Okay, Elon Musk, Twitter, private company. Rumble, publicly traded.
Amazing.
Holy shit. Rumble, publicly traded.
You're banned from everything. Whoa. Why are you banned from Rumble?
Why is he interrupting me? Because he wants to schizo ramble because his points are schizo ramble.
Your point is you're banned from everything other than Rumble. That's the point.
I'm afraid to go, whoa, because he said a bad word.
To reiterate, so if the Jews can pressure any company, it's going to be publicly traded companies for a variety of reasons. You get the government involved in everything.
Let him finish his point, guys.
Right?
That was his point.
He's on a fly list, and you're not.
Bro, they just won't stop talking. It's fucking pathetic how embarrassing these people are. They just don't stop. They can't even let them finish a point because they know how stupid they look. It's like they know that they're wrong, and they just need to talk over you. To like, that's the entire strategy. And then dumb little fuckers are like, yeah, see, he's right. But like, these people are waning. There's fewer and fewer of them. because they're just so fucking stupid, bro. It's crazy. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Not anymore. He has been on that no-fly list for a while, and he wasn't on that no-fly list.
Guys. By the way, just be mind, if any of these were women, Myron would be screaming at them and he would kick them out. It's interesting how like Destiny going on to this podcast, debating 3 fucking idiots, 5 really, but it's just Sneeko, Zerka, and Fuentes. Instantly, it shows you how weak Fresh and Fit. They can't hold a room when it's men. When it's men, they can't command respect from anybody. All they can do is like when it's women that like they'll only let on the show if they have sex with them, of course. Because we've seen the leaks, Myron. They'll tell them to shut the fuck up. Everybody will gang up on them, tell them to just shout at them, scream at them, blah 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 blah. The men, they don't listen. Or so either he's too weak to control men, which is why he goes after young women because he can't actually deal with a woman who's a real woman. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Either it's because he brings on a bunch of like young women that he can yell at and berate. That's it. But when it comes to like men his age or whatever, he can't handle anything. He's a baby. Guys, please stop talking. Just tell them to shut the fuck up and turn their mics off. You're getting cucked by fucking Zerka. Who is this guy? Holy shit.
Destiny, go ahead and say why he got banned off Twitter, and then make your Rumble connection, and then. But y'all were interrupting.
5 seconds.
I want to make.
You see though the veins in Myron's neck.
So just to be clear, we're doing the thing again where the Jews are so powerful, even in a privately owned company, they individually target Nick Fuentes, the most dangerous one ever, going to get him banned. Okay, but they can't exert that same influence on Rumble. What about on YouTube? Doesn't ADL go to YouTube? Why are we banned on YouTube?
Let him finish.
Okay, go ahead. And I'm done. Go ahead.
Was that good? Okay, go. Nick, you want to address that?
Sneeko wanted to talk.
You're saying that it's because he said that he loves Hitler and all that stuff. Doesn't that kind of prove the point? You were saying that.
No. Why would you want somebody who says they love Hitler on your platform? I think that maybe I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. Like, just what a fucking dumb thing to say. Oh, he's so base. And saying DEFCON to Jewish people, you can interpret that as a threat. Like, okay. What is DEFCON 3 or 2 to Jews? What does that mean? It means you're asking to enact violence that's against TOS. Doesn't that kind of display the point? By the way, I remember Sneeko rambling about how Hitler was kind of a good guy in his conversation with fucking, what's his name? The guy who's completely unmarketable now. Aiden Ross. Yeah, the guy who does like a fucking weird, he plays weird Steam games where people just say racist shit to him and he laughs at the N-word. What are you talking? Like, doesn't that prove the point? What point? That like Hitler's a bad guy and platforms think he's gross and don't want people that associate themselves positively with Hitler on their platform? Like, holy shit, hot take.
You can criticize all minorities. You could say that you love Mao, you love Stalin. You could say that you love all these historical leaders. But when you say I love,
who does that? I have never seen anybody say that they love Mao and Stalin. I don't get it. Am I just like a fucking normal person? I don't
Hitler, for example, that is seen as the worst person of all time. That's one that
Hitler probably was the worst person of all time.
Why? Wow. See, but that's the program. And that's exactly what it is.
Systematically led the murder and extermination of like 11 to 17 million people.
Stephen, I'm from an ethnic cleansing in 1999. They murdered most of my family. We didn't have a military. Nobody even knows about my war. So
then how come, this is what blows my mind. So let's say they actually care about the point. They don't. The Sneeko and Zerka, they don't care. If you actually cared, you wouldn't be saying, why can't we say Hitler's great? You'd be saying, why can't we talk about these other issues? If there's like a fucking mass murderer on the level of Hitler or worse named like Bungletoad or something, why is it that your activism for it always centralizes around defending saying Hitler was a cool guy, but doesn't centralize around saying, hey, Bungletoad was a really bad guy. Why can we say we like him? Because they don't fucking care. Like, they don't care. It's not about that. It's just about like it's just like a fucking, it's crybaby. It's a victim festival. There's nothing genuine about it. That's what it boils down to. So shut the fuck up.
I'm not farming sympathy and going to Jewish Hollywood execs saying make a movie because I'm gonna cry for 20 decades. Bro, I'm telling you, you only focus on World War II because you're programmed to. Dude, you'll never talk about Stalin like that. Why?
Who do you think you're talking to?
And then it also proves the point. If you're saying Hitler's the worst person of all time, but you're looking at all the other leaders that have caused genocide on other minorities, you don't see them as evil people, but Hitler is the most evil one.
I love this point, too. It's like, hey, Hitler is the worst, so the other guys aren't bad to you, huh? Wow. It's almost like maybe they're also bad. Maybe they think Hitler is the worst. You know? Again, not a bad point to say, like, hey, listen, how come we talk about Hitler a lot more? Probably because the people who were killed were white. Let's be fucking honest here. Or maybe Hitler was just the absolute worst in the world, you know? I don't know. But like I like how they interpret you saying Hitler's the worst, and somehow everybody else is like kind of chill. Oh, so you don't like Hitler? I guess you think Colin Stalin's kind of a cool guy then, huh? Ugh, fucking asshole.
Genocide of the Jewish people.
Bro, you can't say you don't see them as evil people. What is that insane dichotomy? Of course I think they evil. You know what I'm talking about?
So why is Hitler the worst?
Because they led an unprecedented systematic elimination
on
Jewish people, on Soviet captured people, on the Romani people, on Polish people, on gay people, and
do people criticize him because of all the others? What group did Hitler genocide that people are really afraid about?
I love this because like basically the argument is like you're programmed to defend Jewish people, I guess, when they're programmed to hate Jewish people and defend it. That's really all it boils down to. That's literally it. Like they're the ones that are programmed. It's just fucking funny, you know? But they don't see it. They're just anti-woke fucking idiots. That's what the whole thing boils down to.
Why did they say that Hitler's the worst of all time?
The two biggest ones are Jewish people and Soviet people. That's why Russia to this day defines itself.
Does anybody care about the Hitler genocide on Soviets? Nobody talks about that.
That's all of Russia's foreign policy. Why do you think they talk about going to Ukraine?
You're lying. You're lying right now.
Well, obviously people in America probably wouldn't care that much about Russia because Russia's stupid. I hate Russia. Fuck Russia, dude. I don't know. That's probably something that they talk a lot about in Russia. I don't care. I mean, listen, that's terrible too. But also, fuck Russia, dude. Fuck you, Russia. I stand with Ukraine, dude. Aren't I fucking based? We're probably not going to hear about like Russia's struggles in America because you know this is America, not Russia, right? That's why it's really great. We're also programmed to think the Civil War is bad. Why? Oh, I'm American. What about the Civil War in fucking? Pinkletown. I don't know what the fuck Pinkletown is. I'm sure it's bad. But, I've never been there, so I don't know. I didn't grow up in fucking, in Pinkle. I should have said Pinklestan, because Pinkletown sounds like a town. Pinkle. You get my point. It doesn't matter. My ramblings don't matter.
You and I covered Hassan Piker saying Hitler wasn't bad for invading Poland. He was bad for killing Jews, and you covered that, and you changed your position.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, not for nothing, but like Hassan isn't a great reference because he's a stinky boy. So
read the live chat more. Is that your notes? That looks like a live chat.
That's Adam 22
reading the live chat for more answers.
Adam 22, stop texting.
I want to reply because I never got to reply.
I want him to reply about the Twitter thing. Why did you get banned? He's saying that you got banned for something else. But
I love how they just rolled through like 17 different things. And like Destiny really isn't going to get a chance to respond to any of them. So now they feel like they've won. So now all of his dumb fucking I was like, yes, see, we got him. We said 14 things and he just got exhausted. So we win. Like, okay.
Twitter, not Rumble. I want to hear that.
Hang on. So,
okay,
first of all, he said,
Ramble.
There it is. Not to derail because he has no answer.
Start, man. Let him start. Go
right? So first of all,
fucking Myron is done. He doesn't even want to be there. Holy shit. He's like the women that he sleeps with. It's fucking crazy. They don't want to be there. Listen, you might think it's unfair to say, but we're talking about the guy who told women that when they're sexually assaulted, that it's their fault and they should have picked better men. So I think it's fair to say that. And he's also was exposed for trying to make it so that a girl that wanted to come on the show, he asked to come on the show, he'd only do it if she would sleep with him. So we are in, at the very least, rape apology territory here. So these jokes are fair
super chatted $9.99. Do you think they are subconscious about them being wrong? Like they know that their views have no merit but still yell about it cause they hate looking dumb?
I think that they're weak emotional men that feel a certain way with absolutely no definition to it because they're just like every other baby victimhood pussy ass bitch. But they pretend that they're not the same as obnoxious fucking TikTok liberals. They're the exact same. They're just a different kind of fucking obnoxious. And since they're racist, it seems more based because like, oh, this guy's making a base joke about how fucking everybody else is inferior. Meanwhile, like that's it. Oh, that's their entire identity. is just like crybaby victimhood bullshit. Like that's it. That's what it is. They're just weak, pathetic losers. So.
Well, I know why you got banned on Twitter, and then I said, no, you don't, and then you made a funny, cute joke and said, well, I know Elon too. So, no, I was told by Twitter that I was banned for repeated violations of the terms of service, even though I was there for 24 hours. But regardless, either way you cut it, my argument is
doesn't change.
They banned me because the ADL told them, because the ADL says jump and they say how high. The argument is, well, they banned you because you said you love Hitler. And like Sneeko says, well, that would be an obvious contradiction. It would show that talking about Jews is obviously exceptional.
I don't even know. Listen. I'm a fucking simple guy. When I hear Hitler, and maybe this is just me, I don't necessarily think of Jews. I think of like horrible death, right? Like horrible, horrible death camps. Jewish people were, my understanding at least, by far the largest group targeted by these camps. But I don't really think about Jewish people, honestly. I think about like a horrible thing. That's really more what I think. I mean, maybe I'm just dumb, but whatever.
It's not like other things. Leafy didn't get banned from Twitter. Leafy's going on Twitter and saying all gay people are pedophiles. All gay people are terrible. Do not be gay. Gay people are losing. He didn't lose his Twitter, but I make a Twitter and I lose it in 10 minutes. I literally make a burner with a fake phone number, a fake email, a fake profile picture.
Well, if he's actually saying those things, ban him too. Like, what is he saying? He's saying they're all pedophiles. Yeah, that's okay. They should ban him too, I guess.
Sure, somehow they know they banned me in 10 minutes. I use a VPN. So
if anything, that just communicates to me that we don't care enough about gay and trans people. Like, that doesn't tell me anything. It's not that we care too much about Jewish people, I guess. It's that we don't care enough about LGBTQ people. That's all it's like communicated to me.
Wrong either way. Now, as far as Rumble goes, this is always the argument. I remember,
which makes sense because it seems like Elon Musk is kind of trying to like pander to conservatives with like all the dumb shit that he says all the time. So I mean, it makes sense because they're right now like they don't like LGBTQ people.
In July 2021, I put out a tweet on 4th of July and I said, yeah, happy Independence Day to the gay country that banned me from all social media. And some in the replies goes, well, you're still tweeting. And this is like the same argument.
Well, yeah, that person was kind of right.
So wait a second, Nick Fuentes, you're banned from TikTok, Reddit, Discord, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Bro, I'm banned from TikTok, okay? It doesn't take much.
Facebook, YouTube. YouTube literally told us before we went live, you can't go live with Nick Fuentes because it would be circumventing a ban. So your argument is, so Nick, you're banned from every social media platform in the world, but you're still on Rumble. Ha! Case closed. Point is proven.
Well, the point is that if the ADL has all this control, how come they're not exercising it? How come they're not exercising it on Rumble then? If there's this magical conspiracy theory, that's the argument. He wasn't. Nick Fuentes is trying to make it seem like the argument was like, oh, you're not banned from everything. You still have Rumble. Well, that wasn't the argument. That never was the argument. The argument is like you're saying that there's a deep-seated conspiracy to take you down. How come the ADL can get to Facebook? Instagram, huge platforms, so they can't get to Rumble, which is smaller. How do they not do it?
And it's just like the other thing where it's like, well, Nick, so you're saying the Jews control the DOD and the State Department, but they didn't go through the CIA. Point is proven. It's always just like bullshit obfuscation. Obviously, they exert control. The ADL does this. They're belligerent, aggressive berserkers. They did this to Facebook. They did this to Twitter. They go for the advertisers. They go for the public campaign. It's probably why I don't have a deal with Rumble. I don't want to out anybody, but there's people here that probably have deals with Rumble. And there's other people. I think you have a deal with Rumble. I don't get a deal from Rumble. I'm one of their biggest streamers.
Do you think it's because of the ADL?
Maybe just, and this is like a really weird concept, and I don't know if you guys are going to quite understand where I'm coming from. You think it's possible that everybody thinks Nazis are bad? Most people, intelligent people. Maybe Rumble's like, we like freedom of speech, but this guy, nah, not this guy, not this guy. This is insane. Maybe that's it. I don't know. That's a weird thought.
If I went live exclusively every night on Rumble, I'd be pulling 6,000 or 7,000 viewers on Rumble. Ooh. I should get a deal. I don't get a deal. They don't talk to me.
Do you think it's because of the ADL?
They said no JQ. So the Kick literally.
Do you think Kick is influenced by the JQ? Isn't that guy Australian?
They are 100% influenced by the ADL. Yes.
How?
Because they know that they're going to go after these platforms.
Hold on. Kick is all private equity. There's no advertisers. It's all crypto gambling. Where does the ATL influence?
Let's move back to Yang.
No. Let me keep going.
Yeah, I want to hear this one now.
Well, you should ask the CEO, because the CEO of Kick went out there and said no JQ on the platform specifically.
Why?
He didn't give a reason, but somebody told me.
Whoa. You don't think it's
They said no free speech. The CEO actually went public and said that there's no free speech.
Now Aiden Ross can go on there.
Because when people make streaming platforms, they don't want. And Aiden Ross has gotten in trouble for a lot of the edgy content he's did outside of the JQ shit as well.
Never canceled.
What was the trouble?
Never canceled though.
Never canceled.
You got a 2-hour ban?
Google some shit more.
No, I don't. I'm looking at my notes. Okay, so number one,
the ADL is the Anti-Defamation League. That's
here's just a quick question. You're not going to answer this. Do you have any proof at all that the ADL told Twitter to ban you?
yeah. You look it up. Look up ADL.
No.
Do you have any proof? Yeah, just look it up somewhere. It's on the internet. By the way, if you mention anything about COVID and objective statistics, saying it was a horrible virus, and then they go like, "Where's the information?" You say, "Look it up." They'll go, "I can't trust Google." But unless it's magical, I don't even know where the fuck you'd find the ADL banning funds. Now, there's really no logical consistency here. Look it up. I wrote it in a Wikipedia article.
No.
Oh, the ADL had Twitter, Wikipedia changed the article? Holy fuck. They're always doing these things to me. Right? It's okay.
Swear to God.
Is there proof that the ADL...
The audience can look it up. There's literally, I mean, I could pull it up for you.
Yeah, tell me.
The ADL said there's 5 people.
I love it. They push Destiny if he mutters. But these guys will like go on fucking unhinged rants. And it's just like silence. Guys, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Destiny, let him answer. Destiny, let him. You know why he does that? It's because Destiny's the only person that's respectful of him. And so that's it. So it comes off harsher. But nobody else respects him there. Because they're a bunch of blathering fucking babies. So he's like, guys, please. Weakness. I'd be like, you're going to get kicked off the show if you don't shut the fuck up unless Destiny finishes. Like, it's very normal. But, whatever. I mean, I guess he just doesn't respect himself. So I'm not really surprised.
Well, you can't bring back David Duke, Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes, Donald Trump, Andrew Tate. I said this.
Oh my God, they won't let you. But didn't they bring? But they brought back Andrew Tate. Okay, whatever.
Earlier, 3 people have not been brought back: David Duke, me, and Alex Jones. Elon Musk said Alex Jones can't come back because of Sandy Hook. Me and David Duke are the only 2 in the list.
Wow, I would be fucking bewildered if I was on the same list as David Duke. My understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, David Duke is like the head of the KKK. I couldn't even confidently say in the same sentence, me and David Duke, anything. There's no, maybe I got into a fight. That would be fine, I guess. It's fucking insane. Oh, that's not what I want to be. It's insane. Like, that by itself, you'd be like, wow, that's fucking, that's interesting. David Dukelton? Wow, that guy's pretty bad. Why are you in the same area of him? What's happening there?
That talk about the Jews.
But you did come back.
And then they rebanned
Why
me.
wouldn't they just keep you banned?
Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know, but they rebanned me.
Why'd they bring you back then? I don't know. He hasn't thought of the response to that one. He hasn't thought of the fucking insane conspiracy response to why wouldn't they just keep you banned then? I don't know. They think they fucked up. Oh, you're dead. Oh, you're not dead. Now you're dead, bitch.
24 hours. What do you mean? What do you? No, I don't understand.
Okay, I don't understand. So
I didn't break the rules. Here
is the appallingly obvious take.
Right.
Okay, some speech is not corporately popular because all it does is it gets your platform in shit. You lose advertising. You lose popular support. Having people on the platform saying, "I'm going to go to war with Jews. I love."
I like that. I think Fuentes is actually on his phone. He's not writing anything down. He's just on his phone because he's so angry. He needs to stim. Guys, I'm a quirky minor with ADHD. I need to go on my phone. I can't listen to people.
Hitler like this literally doesn't benefit them at all. The same as if somebody got on a Twitter account and just started spam calling people to kill themselves, or was just spamming like I don't know videos of people getting killed. I don't know, that's against TOS, right? We don't need a conspiracy to explain literally any of this. I'm sorry. People probably don't want you in Rumble because people don't want Rumble to be seen as just a platform where all the Nazis go. Okay, Elon doesn't want you on Twitter.
True, that makes sense because I mean I imagine that Rumble wants to be seen as like a credible free speech platform, but that doesn't mean that like everything. You know what I mean? Like you have to have like you don't want to just be. And I imagine a lot of the people on Rumble now are going to be people that like are probably a lot edgier because Rumble's the alternative platform, right? And a lot of times the alternative ends up getting a bunch of crazies end up on there, of course, because they can't go to the other place. And so they're probably like, you know what? Maybe this is too far.
Although he gave you an unban because as soon as you got unbanned, within 24 hours, you were already tweeting crazy shit, and then you were back in Spaces talking crazy shit. People don't want you on Kick, a company owned completely by private equity with no external advertiser whatsoever. What is tying all of these together? The ADL, which is only spending $500 million, 5 times the XQ.
Bro, it's wild that he like has this on. I imagine he was like, I'm going to see Nick Fuentes. I know he's going to bring up the ADL. How much money do they have? And he's constructed an argument before he even showed up. It's fucking wild, man.
Deal, you think that's enough for them to keep every single one of these social media platforms under their thumb? What was Elon's individual investment in Twitter? Was it like $33 billion? And you're saying $500 million is enough to keep Facebook, market cap of what, $1 trillion? Facebook, Twitter, private equity held, Kick, private equity held, Rumble, publicly traded. Somehow the ADL is keeping you off of all these platforms. Don't you think it might just be the case that people don't want you because you're radical, you just spew right-wing talking points, and it's bad for the platform?
Yeah, let me answer that. Let me answer that.
Just to be clear, well, you can after.
Let me answer that. Wait, well, Destiny still has to make 17 more points before you answer that, because that's apparently the way that the structure is happening. You talk 17,000 points, and then you guys go back and forth.
Let Destiny finish.
Every single ban you have
ramble.
can be very easily explained by this is not popular, makes our platform look bad, and we don't want it. And I don't have to invent like sometimes the ADL is a lot of pressure, sometimes they keep 5 people banned, but they accidentally unban me, but then they remember to reban me, and they somehow influence publicly traded companies to get rid of me, but not Fresh and Fit that have me on them. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about it. So first of all, you said, could you show me where the ADL? Because I'm sure someone in chat said that didn't happen. It's right here. If they Googled it, October 28th, 2022, 5 things ADL is watching following Elon Musk buying Twitter. Point number 1.
So some random article saying that ADL specifically doesn't like Nick Fuentes. It doesn't matter if the ADL likes Nick Fuentes or not. The argument isn't whether the ADL likes or dislikes you. The argument is whether they've had this massive influence on their ability to get rid of you from the platform. That's the actual... Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, shit my fucking balls.
In addition to Trump, other high-profile and dangerous individuals may be allowed to...
Also, this sounds like a sensationalized news post. That's not necessarily even like something that they would say.
...to return to Twitter. David Duke, Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones, Andrew Tate, Steve Bannon. These are the... Okay, those are the 5 that they listed.
But Trump got unbanned, and you got unbanned.
Hang on. I already said that. I said
Trump was an accident
the 3 that have not been allowed back, me, Alex Jones...
You were allowed back.
Hang on. You don't even let me finish. Because your mother doesn't even say anything when I interrupt.
Bro,
I get called out. When you interrupt, no one gives a f***. Anyway, that's okay. You're cool. I'm not trying to... I'm just saying.
Didn't Andrew take on a bench?
Cheating.
Let him finish.
Let him finish what point? Oh.
He did specifically mention Andrew Tate came back. He mentioned that 3 people were not able to come back.
Well, Andrew Tate came back because he's a Jew.
So
Well, incredible. The point is that he's crying about how the ADL isn't letting these people on. Half of them were back on. That's it. It's a conspiracy narrative. It's much more easily explained by Nick Fuentes is just shitty, as a shitty little asshole bitch, and nobody wants him on their platform.
Trump came back, and now it came back to him. And back to Stephen Bonner with the gaffification. So I said the people that were not permitted back are people that, one, Elon Musk specifically said Alex Jones can't come back because of Sandy Hook. He's got a personal gripe. The other 2 that haven't come back, it's me. It's David Duke. We're the
he did come back.
Only 2 that talk about Jews. And by the way,
but he did come back.
Hey, you say, oh well, maybe it's just because they don't want you. Maybe it's
because you came back and you're going crazy.
Because it's a brand risk, really. And I go back to once again, you engage with like this part of it and blow it up. It's all sophistry. So let me ask you this, Destiny, with the face in the phone. If Leafy is tweeting every
just doing the same thing
single day for the last 5 or 6 weeks, gay people suck, gay people, pull up his timeline while you're on your phone and look at all the stuff he's tweeting about LGBT.
It's so weird. He was just doing the same thing. He's just a fucking crazy baby. Like it's so fucking crazy, dude.
LGBTQ people. Why don't you look at that? That's not a brand risk, but I am. I went on my stream and said,
well, you're much more, not for nothing, you're much more impactful than Leafy somehow. I mean, you're just like Leafy with a chin, frankly, but Leafy's kind of just like a nobody at this point, just crying for attention. Right, so cool beans though, I guess. Yeah, again, that just tells me that that we live in a society that doesn't care about LGBTQ people enough at all. That's it. That's my argument. Not as a hot take. Ooh, not really, but
which you didn't even listen to, I know. I tweeted nothing that was offensive. And on the voice chat, I said, we have to be radical.
Guys, saying Hitler is fucking awesome is not offensive, okay?
Alex Jones calls me Little Hitler. We have to lean into that kind of stuff. So now their policy is hate speech says you can't incite hatred or violence against a group, which is not what I did.
Well, saying apparently he said DEFCON to Jews. That's inciting hatred and violence. I don't know if you guys knew that.
They banned me in a very short time. They didn't give me a reason. They didn't tell me it was because of the voice chat. They just took me off.
They always do. Every company is usually pretty vague about the specific reasons why you were banned off of something. Twitter does it. Everybody does it.
So if it's about bad content or something like that, clearly Leafy's content, and I'm not trying to get him banned, but Leafy's content is more against the rules than the stuff that I said. What's more, you didn't address the Kanye West was told personally, you can't come back by Elon. And what did Elon do? Or rather, what did Kanye do? Kanye tweeted the swastika. That's it. He didn't call for the death of anybody. He didn't say anything hateful.
That's it. Just the symbol of the death of, like, what, 10 million plus people. You're right. That's not hateful. We're living in like a delusional fucking twilight zone. That's crazy. A swastika isn't a symbol of hate. It is actually. I truly wish I was this fucking dumb and ignorant, because what a confident life he must lead. Holy shit.
He tweeted the swastika
Not
on
even
the Star of David.
Swastika, it was...
It's the seal of Solomon. Don't say David.
Right.
That's a lie.
Okay, true. The
Star of Remphan.
Yes.
There you go.
So he tweeted that, and Elon literally told him when all the reinstatement was happening, no, you can't come back. So there's obviously a common denominator here. All the stuff that you throw out there falls apart when you look at the breadth of the evidence. People get
except for the fact that you were able to come back. So
more canceled for talking about the Jews than they do anything else. They do about gay people, about Muslims. Talk about goalpost shift. Initially, you said, well, people get canceled.
Bro, if you talk shit about Muslim people, you're gonna get dumpstered on like fucking leftist Twitter. What are you talking about? I guess gay stuff too, but I mean, though, if I don't really know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like. I guess you'd have to say, I just feel like there's a difference between posting a swastika versus making statements about how all LGBTQ people are some kind of groomers, which is obviously not true. Has anybody tried calling Jews groomers? Don't do that. That's anti-Semitic. But maybe if they did that, then we would have a proportionate. This is the same thing, right? We got like swastika. I love Hitler is a little bit higher than calling everybody like a groomer. It's a little different. I think personally. Still bad, but okay.
For anything, not Leafy for gay people with a contract on Rumble and still on Twitter. Not all these Jews that bash Muslims, they're still getting
what Jews are bashing Muslims?
Contracts and they're still on Facebook.
What is he talking about that one? Is he just talking about how like Israel and Palestine have a conflict? I'm so confused.
Only the people who talk about Jews in Israel, and I said the ADL is part of that. You always say, well, you say the ADL controls everything. ADL is a part of that. They're part of this berserker army that goes after these guys. And we could get into Facebook. I didn't get to hit that, but we could get into that later.
Oh, I'd rather not.
Yeah, basically you're saying the pressure is always there. But can I say one thing?
Yeah, sure, please.
Actually, I don't know how good faith Steven's being, because I've watched Steven for years, and a lot of people in chat have. Did you know there's one group of people he does not joke about for the last 4 or 5 years? Every other place he goes edgy. I can find a million clips of any minority group, but there is one where it's like, I can't find Steven doing any
what the hell's happening?
Anti-Semitic comedy. He can go against blacks, Chinese. Like, if you really want to look for clips of Steven mentioning the Jewish community, it's fucking scarce. But he's an edgy guy. Right. He attacks everyone.
You've attacked Islam. You've made a lot of jokes. Even Zerka makes jokes about Islam too.
Yeah.
Okay, but why is it not easy
to make fun of a nose?
Because it's like I've challenged people to come on my stream and give me like, what are good Jewish jokes? I don't even know any. Like everybody brings
I remember that stream.
There's a lot of jokes.
I got
What are good Jewish jokes? Not like what's just offensive with no actual hook to it. It's not like funny when you're just like, there's a deep-seated conspiracy. It's like, hey guys, black people might be a little loud in the movie theater. White people can't eat spicy food. Jews control the world. That's their idea of a joke. What are you talking about? You won't make any. What joke? I don't know. I feel like for the most part we can joke about other things, but the second there's a Jewish joke, it's like everybody who makes them is just massively anti-Semitic. It's fucking crazy. Like, really, what is a decent Jewish joke that's not going to like actually call hate to Jewish people? I don't know, personally. I don't know.
Sesame Street.
What are you talking about? I got Sesame Street Jewish jokes. I know 30 off my head, but I want to keep my bank account.
Now that you're a Muslim, I'm sure you know all sorts of Jewish
jokes. I was just gonna say, that was Ryan Dawson calling me on Telegram. He just wanted to say real quick. It's actually funny. He said Nick needs my help here. Zerka's useless. But
who are you, bro? You weren't even invited.
This is what he said. He said Elon removed the ADL from the advisory board to trust and safety. Y'all Roth also had to step down. Nick was brought back in this window. Then they had a new Zionist at head of trust and safety and then banned him again. What? Also, I got banned on all those same things even before Nick without saying any racist things at all.
Martin, he literally
got back and rebanned in that same window as Nick. So what he's saying is that they have people from ADL at the advisory board to trust and safety.
Are we just forgetting that?
So they conveniently fired a guy from the ADL, and then they got a new guy, and they're like banned Fuentes. Okay, no, it's just insane.
He literally called Nick an anti-Semite recently.
Who?
This.
Well, Nick probably is an anti-Semite. Does he not say as much?
No, we're not going to read his shit.
What is it? Somebody who opposes the existence
No, you know
of
what he did? He said, I have no problem with Jews, but Nick is an anti-Semite. Who the stop trying to grow your bum-ass platform.
All right, either way. The point is hold on. Ryan Dawson and Nick are enemies, and he still said this to basically say, hey, look, Twitter does have some ADL influence, is what he's saying.
And also, in Nick's defense as well. So you are harping on the fact that he's on Rumble still, but to be honest with you, like speaking.
He's not really harping on the fact. Again, it's just to show that like you're saying the ADL is controlling everything, but why aren't they controlling Rumble? That's the argument.
Plainly, in plain sight of the podcast itself, he may be in danger. You never know.
What?
So you're not saying behind the scenes either way.
What?
I don't think he's in danger.
You never know. You never know.
I think if people wanted to get him, I think he would have been gotten by now.
Hey, I know this might be anecdotal.
But wait, real quick.
What are the chances the only streamer who ever mentions Israel from a straight white male, and that's not an attack on straight white male, it's an attack on Christianity. What are the chances the only streamer in internet history?
Did he just like play identity politics and then instantly retract it? I guess he realized he was getting too fucking woke. Okay.
To just critique Israel is on a...
Bro, there's a difference between critiquing Israel and fucking throwing around swastika. What's the... I don't really understand like the critique, because not for nothing. I've seen plenty of content creators ask the question, like, how come this is... Because here's the thing. I've seen plenty of content creators, Abin Preacher, one of them. I've seen, like, Dave Chappelle, too, say, like, hey, how come we can't ask the question, why do Jewish people hold disproportionately high positions in particular fields? They are not banned. Because that's a reasonable question. And there is, that's reasonable. And when you don't answer those questions, people just, like, harbor more and more resentment. People aren't getting banned for, like, shit like that. People are getting banned for things like fucking like sitting here and like with the Jewish question shit. Like that's what people are actually getting banned for. Like, or rather not the Jewish question, excuse me. They're getting banned for like supporting fucking Hitler and shit. That's not the same thing. At all. You're just trying to find justifiers to like harass and bully and call for a new Holocaust. It's not the same thing as like a lighthearted joke or asking the question, this, that, and the other thing.
No fly list, banned from PayPal, every platform.
Wait, frankly, to be honest with you, the reason why there's probably heavier, what do I want to say? There might be heavier policing of like anti-Semitic shit is because like again like probably they don't want like another huge ass Holocaust to going on, right? Again, we should be able to ask the questions. It's just fucking crazy.
What are the chances Nick has this problem? If Nick was talking about the Great Wall of China, would he have this problem?
Okay, so all I'm trying to point out is that like if we look at how companies act and how they respond to consumer pressure, it's pretty obvious to explain every single banning that we're talking about. If we try to use this ADL lens, it is the most like unspecific, random, schizo unbanning and rebanning ever, right? Okay. Wow. Nick pointed out that the ADL said 5 people needed to stay banned, okay? And 3 of them got unbanned.
Okay.
Where's the power? That doesn't make any sense.
That makes more sense. If you think that there's more harsher restrictions against anti-Semitism than other types of bigotry, it's probably because advertisers think it's like a big brand risk. That's pretty much it. And maybe it is because there are more Jewish people in more affluent positions and they have really like, you better say something about this is bad or else. That might be it. That's not because Jewish people run the world. That's because, again, we've talked about this. Why are there so many Jewish people in Hollywood? It's because they used to not be allowed to be in the movies. So they had to create their own
Let me ask you this.
But again,
I got a great
It'd be like saying, I love, all slave masters. It'd be like saying something dumb like that. You might get banned on that, too. I don't even know if there was, one universal fucking... But you get my point.
You got all five. You just ran for 20
Once
minutes.
you finish, I got a question.
So it's again, and I'll point it again because I'm going to reiterate this all through the night because it's going to keep coming up over and over again. They're all powerful. They have all the influence. They control all of these multi-trillion-dollar market capitalization companies. But when they go to make these huge statements, the ADL says these are the 5 people that need to stay banned. For some reason, 2 of them are the only ones that stay banned, or even one of them, and then one gets rebanned.
Do they critique Israel? Those ones that got unbanned?
Elon Musk critiques Israel. Elon Musk really shit on.
Are you talking about?
You can go on Twitter right now.
You're putting Elon with Nick?
You can go on Twitter right now and find Elon Musk shitting on George Soros and saying he's like a...
That's true. The George Soros is the best fucking anti-Semitic one. I didn't ever think about that.
Is that the same thing as talking about foreign policy and foreign aid?
Is the #1 Jewish conspiracy accused.
1,000%. George Soros is literally I need a conspiracy. Who would we go to? George Soros did this. George Soros sent all the people from south of the border here to destroy our country. George Soros. That's like the biggest anti-Jewish dog whistle. What are you talking about? Factual. So I gotta kill this guy real quick.
In the United States. Okay?
Wow, that's millionaire beast. That's not
So
Israel.
Elon should bring Nick back.
That's amazing.
I'm just saying that when you try to use, if you try to use, if you try to, okay. Interesting.
That's so funny.
If you try to use this ADL lens, it doesn't explain anything. Why are some people? The answer for why Lethe is largely untouched is very obvious because nobody knows who the is or gives a.
It's getting
True.
more than your Islamophobic jokes.
Sneeko brings up, and I hate Islam. Thank you for reminding me. More than what Sneeko brings up. More than what Sneeko's correct that Lethe is getting big in some areas, and that's why recently he has gotten pressured. Because as soon as Lethe started doing incredibly unpopular shit, now he's tweeting out that he's getting pressured by Rumble to chill his shit out. And I don't think it was because he was talking about Jews. I think it's because his content is extremely edgy. Because newsflash, most people don't want that type of "I love Hitler" content on any of their platforms because it's a bad look for literally everybody.
All right, based. Yeah. Always a shit show when we watch stuff like that. Gotta say. Always an incredible shit show. Jesus Christ.